Can you use data to dramatically transform a recruitment department? Absolutely. Here's a story for you. I once started a brand new job, and the leadership there asked me to start looking at recruitment metrics. They had none in place, not time to fill, not client satisfaction, not number of applicants to job posting, none of that, which was really surprising. But at the same time, I was like, okay, great, there's an opportunity here to make a significant impact. But in digging into those metrics, the most striking thing was that the volume of work that each of the recruiters on the team was managing had more than doubled over the last 4 years. Yet there was not a single new hire on that team. There was no budget for it, and there was zero changes to the software, tools, processes, systems that they were using to do their job. So what had happened was, over these 4 years, their job had evolved into becoming more like a glorified administrative people. They were just pumping out so many job offers and so many job postings, and just all the applicants they would receive would just get forwarded to the hiring managers. So there was zero time left for them to actually be actively involved in the selection process, or to be like a trusted recruitment advisory partner to their client groups. So by looking at that, we said, okay, how are we going to improve the situation? So once again, we turned to data and metrics. We used an online task tracking tool. And for 2 weeks, we had everybody on the team log in and out of every single task that they did. And we would categorize them into things like administrative tasks, attending meetings, taking breaks, etc., etc. So they would clock in and out of every task, and we would get the report at the end of 2 weeks for everybody on the team. By looking at that data, it turns out that 70% of their time, surprise, was spent on administrative tasks that could very easily have been automated. They were still using paper fax machines to receive approvals to put up job postings and submit job offers. Sometimes those faxes would come through and it'd either be missing the name of the executive, or their signature, or the date, or the number of people that were supposed to be hired into that one job posting, that one requisition. So we look at the applicant tracking system, and most applicant tracking systems have a lot of really useful functionality. And in this department, they weren't using any of it. Things like saving templated job offer letters, so that instead of manually typing out and inputting the data, which would cause a lot of manual errors, they could auto merge the candidate details from when they first applied and have that automatically plugged into whichever template they selected, and download it, tweak it a bit, done, send it off, saving a ton of time. Same thing with approvals for job postings and offers. They could just do that digitally. They could input the managers, who the approvers would be, and all the approvals would happen digitally through the same system. So these are just a few examples of some of the changes that they made into the process, and it dramatically transformed this department over the next few months into much closer to a true high-performing talent acquisition function. So that's just one simple example of how data can be leveraged to identify and point us to the right changes to be made to improve things in recruitment. But I'm curious to hear from you. What metrics do you use? What metrics have you used that have made significant impacts on your recruitment process? And if you have any questions or comments about recruitment or metrics or data, please feel free to message me directly, or even better, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.